Welcome to the Waterford Institute of Technology webinar. Thank you for taking your time to participate in today's conversation. I'm Lavanya Nair and I'm the Manager Operations for Abcodo. We are delighted to know that many of you are interested in growing your business by learning about the latest insights in the international education scene and student recruitment for the upcoming semesters. And please don't mind me looking down at the screen and talking. I'm using an external camera. It is somewhere up there, so kindly apologize me for that. Before I begin, let me mention a couple of reminders to our participants. We will open the question and answer room, but you can submit your questions using the Q&A button you will see on your screen. In addition to this, there is a link in your chat box that you can use to complete your information, and we can respond to you as soon as possible. So let me start with introducing today's presenter, Ms. Helen Khan-Griffith, International Market Development Officer from Waterford Institute of Technology, Ireland. Helen comes from China. She holds a Bachelor's of Science in Information Processes from the University of Northeast Shanghai. She also completed her master's degree in business at the Waterford Institute of Technology. And she's been working with Waterford Institute of Technology for almost 20 years now. And Helen says she adores Ireland for the following reasons. They are the world's friendliest people, very hospitable, with a positive approach to life, rich history with traditional culture and familial values, a wonderful sense of humor, lovely landscape with pleasant weather, and a small country with large population of young generation, which brings enormous potential for future innovation and creativity. Thank you for the wonderful insight into the country, Helen. So let's have a small introduction to us, MSM Unify. MSM Unify is an international education marketplace, actually the largest in the making, that empowers educational institutions, agents, and students. We aim to unify student recruitment, stakeholders, and enable each of you here and your partner higher education institutions to collaborate online to diversify your students and reach the world's inquisitive learners. MSM Unify has one goal in mind for partner agents like you, that is to facilitate, accelerate, and streamline student recruitment. So this is a sustainable and cost-effective approach for institutions that would want to market, recruit, and admit students in such a difficult and competitive environment. For agents, this is a great opportunity to expand your institutional partnerships and offer thousands of diverse programs and services to your students. I'm happy to share that this extensive AI-powered platform also exists in the full international student journey through thousands of programs and courses, study guides, a discussion forum, and other extensive tools and resources for international students. We are pleased to offer them free of charge to our students to help them achieve their dreams of studying abroad. And a little introduction towards Abcodo. Abcodo is MSM Unify's dedicated recruitment network that provides well-accelerated agents, complete applications, and global reach to our partner institutions. Through Abcodo, we strive to address common issues facing higher education institutions at different stages of the international recruitment funnel. With well-approved Abcodo agents, institutions have access to various student pools across the globe. In a nutshell, I would say that Abcodo is available in 72 countries, 26 destination countries, covering recruitment on 6 continents totally, and 400 institution partners, technical platform with 40,000 plus programs and above. Both MSM Unify and Abcodo are product offerings of M2 Media, a leading platform supporting international education, providing business development and marketing services to institutions of varying sizes and types. MSM sets up global and international offices which stigmatize, promote, and recruit students on behalf of partner institutions worldwide. We operate in at least 26 countries and can literally offer you a world of recruitment options. If you would like to know more about us, how you can work with us, please fill out the form which has been sent to your chat box, and a representative from Abcodo will be in touch with you very soon. And I don't want to take any more time of yours, as we have Helen here also to take you through her wonderful presentation. Over to
Thank
Helen.
you. Thank you very much, Lavanya. That's a lovely, lovely introduction. And so I just love to share my screen first. First, I want to say thank you and welcome everybody taking time to join today's seminar. And I want to give you some takeaway. I want you to take 3 things out when we spend 1 hour together, okay? I don't expect to remember everything, right? Sometimes we have so much things going on in our life. We have a lot of things to do, but I wish you can take 1 hour and be with me and get everything from it. And rather afterwards, you were thinking, oh, I can't remember. I better go to check a website. I better check with that. So 3 things is very important for you to know. You know roughly what's about these 3 things from your own experience, right? So first, I want to introduce myself first. And Lavanya just gave a fabulous introduction about the whole lot of my life. So in the first my 27 years, I was in China and grew up from different parts of China, from developing cities, and then moved back to my hometown, Shanghai, which is one of the more advanced developed cities in China, 12 million. And so after 27 years, I decided to go abroad, follow my family tradition. And my brother was in America, my auntie, cousin in Japan. So all the generation kind of go abroad. So I follow family tradition, go abroad. So the interesting, I didn't choose Ireland. Everybody say, hey, why your Ireland? The first thing is actually is America. But for some reason, America don't want me. So they said, no, we don't want to give you study visa because this and that reason. So I applied 3 times. You can say I'm very determined woman. And then 3 times later, nothing happened. They just won't give me visa. And then I say, okay, China is in the middle, and if you go to the east, is go to America, and I better go to the opposite direction, which is Europe. And very simple, I choose Ireland. Why? English-speaking country. And second reason, cheaper than UK. And third reason, fantastic program, fantastic university, and people are so friendly. I just never fear people like that, especially from Western world. So that's why I choose Ireland. Okay, yeah.
By luck, you ended up with Waterford Institute of Technology.
Yes, yeah, that's why I connected with you, Lavanya, right? And so the interesting is, before I left China, I come to Ireland. You know, I was 27 years. Is a very mature woman, right? So my last job in China actually is working in an education agent. Exactly the same as everybody here listening. I was exactly the same as you. Go to, at that time, there's not much internet or Zoom, even not Zoom or Facebook. So everybody go to the hotel, listen to this presenter, listen to that person come along to explain. So 20 years ago, Ireland is no name. Nobody know anything about Ireland. Even Iceland probably more famous than Ireland. So my company actually is the first education company only specialized in Irish education. Don't do anything at only Ireland. So you can say, oh, that is very hard. You also can see that's actually easy because nobody competes with you. So I will share my experience from working with agent. At that time, there's no Abcodo, this type of multi-big company, right, network. And I wish I would maybe like that, I can work with them and much easier, make life much easier, because we constantly receive so many agent requests from different countries. And some people will say, oh, can you send me a reference letter because I want to present Australian University? Or can you send me another reference letter for New Zealand, for UK? But if you are the agent, a partnership with Abcodo, you don't need to do all this. I make life much easier. So I just think it's fabulous. So I'm so grateful to be able to be here and work with Abcodo and Lavaya and the fabulous team here. Besides that, my hobby is just traveling, dancing, meditation. Dancing is very dynamic. Meditation is very peaceful. Energy healing. I'm also a qualified acupuncturist, energy healing by energy. All these things. So that's me. Okay. That is a picture, my hometown, Shanghai, and that is my Irish home, back garden, my little garden. Okay, I tried to make Japanese garden, but I couldn't figure out, so I just put a wooden head. Okay, so the reason we're here is about how do we promote Ireland to your student. But before that, you have to understand why Ireland. You have to we're prepared everything about people will ask you about Ireland, the weather and the why, and here comparing Ireland to New Zealand, Australia, all this traditional well-known country. But a lot of students, they probably did a lot of homework, but somehow some students just heard and they just so focused on USA, like me before. I know nothing about Europe, just America, right? So some people, they just know nothing about Ireland. Some people know everything. So you just need to get yourself prepared. And what's your idea of Ireland? You can think about the weather, the geography, and the population, Europe connection with America. And why study Ireland? A lot of students will say the study in Ireland very easy. English-speaking country, very good job opportunity, and the tuition fees are very reasonable, right? And all this make study Ireland is so unique. And then what's most important in choosing the study destination? We all know, me just a private example, as an international student, why choose study destination? To looking for a future life, right? Looking for future life, very inspiring, have a certain level of freedom, do what I love to do. And that is why important. So think about this in your head. And also it's always good to ask students what's their idea about Ireland, why they want to study abroad. And they were to all different types of reasons. Before we go in, we need to look at the map. I presume everybody now, much easier than 20 years ago, you know where's Ireland, right? You weren't confused between Ireland with any other country. So the reason we show this map is very important to show the link between Ireland and America, Irish people and the Americans, right? And we know by geography, the Titanic history, Irish Ireland is a very poor country back a long time ago, was traditional agriculture. They don't have industry, purely just agriculture, the lamb, the cow, all this. And so, but in last 20, 30 years, it's developing so fast. So American companies start to invest in Ireland. It's not because Ireland is a pretty country, good weather, people are friendly. They invest, of course, low tax and also high education. They guarantee they have high quality graduates. And the other third reason for multinational company, and we all know multinational company, most are from America, and most multinational company invest in Ireland, is not just because this is this. And the other third reason, more than any other country, is an emotional and history connection. Don't forget, 750,000 Americans claim they have Irish ancestors, including past 7 American presidents. You're thinking, wow, and all this presidents, they all publicly and visit Ireland and make a big deal about my ancestor, my grandparents, and my cousin, and they all visit Ireland. You never see or never heard any other country leaders think about prime minister in China, in Africa, in South Australia, say, hey, my relation was, my ancestor actually was from India or from China or from, no, they probably privately, but they won't make a big deal. So that is because the history American companies, especially all these Irish have Irish ancestors, they are higher level CEO or senior management, and they fear they need to pay back, right? So think about India graduate, a few India graduates, they graduate from UK, from Ireland, from Australia, New Zealand, Netherlands, or other country. So they are looking for the same job. And this, in the interview panel, do you think which India student will get that job more likely? Because that's India student graduate from Ireland, because of connection, okay? So there's so many hundreds of case and life story about, like my manager, he went to America to did her MBA. When she graduated, she got a job, and afterwards, purely just because she's from Ireland. So she beat any other international student or even Americans just because the interview panel, and they love Irish so much. So whatever you're Irish or you study in Ireland, they just feel the connection. Now, when we look at Ireland, we also need to say what is Waterford. We know the country by the capital. So we all know Dublin and the capital, and 1 million in Dublin, right? And Ireland is only a small country, only 5 million for the whole country. So it's all this part is Ireland, and the pink part is the North Ireland is the part of the UK. So we talk about this part. And Waterford is only 2 hours driving and to Dublin, and 1.5 hours to Cork, second biggest city. So Waterford is the fifth biggest city after Dublin, Cork, Limerick, Galway, and then Waterford. So it's a city. Of course, by the population of Asian country, we're just thinking it's a small little tiny city, right? But when we look at whole Europe, and they are small, right? And also population are also very little. So the small actually means good quality and also low cost. I came to Ireland, the first stop is Dublin. I spent 6 months in Dublin and looking for the university I want to go. And everybody asks the same question, why not any university in Dublin? Why is somewhere in Waterford? I will tell you, I will explain all this and then you know what's the answer. And the other thing to choose Ireland is more than any other country. It's so unique. That makes Ireland so unique for me and so impressive is because Irish history and the family values. And if you Google type Irish family blessings, and there's 100 page of different type of blessings, blessing here, blessing there. But at the end, the code is also blessing your wellness, your family, and open your heart, receiving and giving your love. And you don't say much about any other American, because all the other countries like America, Australia, they are traditional immigrant country, right? Except the original Americans, they're Indians, right? So here's a picture, actually is my family picture. My Irish family, my husband, he loves a cup of tea, but doesn't mean he don't drink alcohol, okay? He loves a cup of Irish tea, not very keen in the Chinese or Indian green tea. And all my families, my father-in-law, unfortunately passed away 2 years ago. And so that family just show you the traditional in my Irish family traditions. Every Saturday, everybody get together and have a big pot of Irish stew. And normally my mother-in-law, my lovely mother-in-law will cook that big pot of stew for the whole family, for 10, 12 people. When only 2 people show up, only 4 people show up, doesn't matter, always guarantee it's big pot there every Saturday. And since the father-in-law passed away and also my mother-in-law is 85, not able. So my husband took over. So every Saturday, I'm helping my husband. Sometimes I just take over. Every Saturday, we cook exact same big pot for everybody. Because the family are getting busy and sometimes maybe only 3 people show up. And then sometimes could be 10 cousins, nephews, and then we will give away to the neighbors. So you don't see that in other countries. Like my friends living in Germany, they said the grandparents even don't want to come over, take over to mind your grandchildren. But in Irish tradition is you always see in the primary school outside of a gate, and the grandparents are waiting and pick up their grandchildren. And not every single parent, because parents, we all know, very busy, have to work, So that you're thinking Western people, how come they can even do that even better than our home country, right? So that is just family traditions. And of course, not every single Irish family will do that, but just show you family that very, very close. Like my sister-in-law, the lady was sitting there with a little dog, and her house is only 5 minutes away, and the other sister the house is only 100 minutes away. So we all kind of are living together, right? So that is why make our international student feel Ireland is like home away from home. It's so important. Now, we talk about Ireland, you probably know all this information, the population, in Euro, in English-speaking country. And the reason is because education, the system, and also because a relationship with the UK and our Irish higher education is similar from the UK, but even more strict. That's why some students say, hey, I can get an offer from the UK university, but how can I only get conditional offer from Irish university? But don't forget, we are the public university. We are not a profit-driven. So quality is so important. So that is why we are very clear about our student experience rather than just say, hey, come in, everybody, and whatever you're doing, we don't care. That's not the right attitude as a serious educator. Of course, Irish have long history, rich history. We have so many scholars and saints. That is why we built the global ranks for education excellence. Now, this slide is so important for you to give some student. We don't say convince, but you need to give the facts and figures to support your talk, right? So if a student say, okay, I know about, but what's the evidence? You need to show all these multinational companies, 9 of the 10, all of the top 10, the top 5, all these companies, technology, pharmaceutical, software company, financial service, medical industry, engineering company, why they all invest in Ireland? If we go back to our little map, Ireland is so tiny. Why all the multinational company will invest in such small little country more than the total investment in 5 BRIC country? 5 BRIC means Russia, Brazil, India, China, and South Korea. And think about the size of these 5 countries. They're huge. And they take nearly more than 30 or 40% of the whole global economic growth. So multinational company invest Ireland more than invest in these 5 countries. Think about why, okay? So you don't get any other country like Netherlands or Germany or Italy or even UK will get this figure. So here is just another slide about to divide industry into 6 sectors. And we have all the program related to all these sectors. So every student can find some program at WIT. Now, when we look at Ireland, and Lavia just gave you all this answer already during her introduction, right? And all this about sense of humor and the culture, the family value, positive attitude, so friendly, beautiful scenery with a pleasant weather. There's no hot summer. They never ever have a 30 degree. And maybe hottest day, maybe 24 degrees. Coldest time in the winter is only 0 or 2 degrees. So we never ever have very cold weather. and also reasonable cost of living, high quality life, and also favorite investment country, a small country with a high population of young generation. So that is all the special about Ireland. When you look at that, you will say other countries maybe have this, have that, but do they have a sense of humor? You never get that from UK, right? Of course, some people in UK are British, are very funny, but most of that, same as Chinese people. You think Chinese people are very funny? You probably say, oh no. For me, before I moved to Ireland, I consider myself actually was very serious. But then my husband have a great sense of humor, just couldn't stop making me laugh. So now, little by little, influenced by him, I start more smile and more happier. And that is so important for our students, because you will want to feel the joy and peace and abundance from your life. So that is all about Ireland. So if you have any question, just feel free to type in, and I can answer your question if you have anything. Okay. Now we move on to Waterford City. So that is morning time, and that is evening time. Same as in all the European countries, we don't have high building, not like Asia country, because huge population, we have to go to the sky, build a high building. So in Ireland, it's a very small country, plenty of land, only 5 million people. So the highest building probably only 5 floors. So Waterford, you only need to remember, number one is oldest city in Ireland. So that is Waterford. The tower is part of the city center, and that is the longest, most famous surfing beach in Ireland. So it's a tourist city, so old city and also tourist city, and plenty of job opportunity because tourism, hospitality, everything. And also Waterford is a tech gateway for the whole Southeast region. So that is why when Irish government want to invest, they invest more likely in all the gateway of each region, right? So of course, we talk about our student future graduate opportunity, job opportunity is look beyond Waterford, look at whole Ireland, and even beyond Ireland, go to global. So when we look at Waterford City, you of course will ask why Waterford is not because the beach, because sunny city. It's because the cost of living and also very pleasant, and people are very friendly and more friendly. And again, why start at WIT? We will go through that. Here is a summary about why choose Waterford. We all know people living from big city are more busy as the traffic is so severe, but people living in the small city are more laid back, more relaxing, and have more patience. So same thing anywhere, everywhere. So in Waterford, people are more relaxing and more friendly than other big city, and of course, the low cost of living, much high quality life, and the tech gateway in Southeast region. Of course, the other part is just same as I mentioned earlier. Now, WIT, okay, so student will say, okay, Helen, I know Ireland, I definitely go to Ireland, I know Waterford, okay, but how about the program? So WIT is the biggest institute of technology outside of Dublin. Okay, so we look at outside of Dublin. So the biggest one, we have 10,000 students, and even some university in Ireland only maybe 6,000 students or even less. So we have that number, and we top ranked institute in Ireland. So for the year of Institute Technology 2021 this year, and we have so many programs for choose, whether you want to do art, you want to do music, you want to education, of course, traditional program, engineering, business, science, computing. And the other two is so unique. We work very close with a major company and industry. All our 4 years degree program including 1 semester work placement in year 3, okay, all the 4 years program. So that gives student opportunity to get experience and also very good for the CV. And the more likely you will get the job if you get this, you're getting on well with the company. And the other one is a personal focus. What does that mean? Is all our classrooms are small, around 20. So comparing to a big university in Asia, 20,000, 30,000 students in a university, and a general classroom with 80, 100 students in one class. But in here, only 20, maybe 25, sometimes could be 18. I remember 20 years ago, my master program business class, only 18 students. 20 years later, it turned into the 81? No, 20 years later, it's still 18, 20 students. So you can imagine it's so important about quality. And because of that, our students feel, number one, they feel the program, they find the program. Number two, our program are very practical because a company is heavily involved in our program design and everything. So practical is so important. That's why Institute of Technology means it's a very practical program to make sure our graduates can go straight to work and without too much training. University, however, a lot of students will ask, what difference between university and Institute of Technology? They all doing the same thing. They all have a degree, master degree, PhD, postdoctoral, MBA, EMBA. And they all have research. I just confuse what's main difference. Very easy. University established for future, for the thinker, for the philosopher, for the scholar, researcher, for the prime minister. Purely is for that. But Institute of Technology all established by the Irish government in 1970s. Before that, Ireland is quite still poor and struggling. But 1970s is a milestone, and Institute of Technology established to produce good quality, high quality, and very practical labels for the multinational company. That's it. There's no other purpose. So that is why 65 to 75% of Irish high school graduates will choose Institute of Technology. Think about why you study. You study, not just study forever. You have to stop and making money. Otherwise, your parents will get out to you, right? So that is why very important, return for your investment. And personal focus and small class, the beauty is that your lecturer knows you very, very well. The lecturer will use their own personal network to connect you with the company. And because of personal connection, and you're more likely can get into the door easier and then faster than anyone else. Then you just random send a CV, right? And then nothing happened. But if the lecturer or professor can help you send a CV, wow, it looks is a completely different game. So very, very important for that. So in summary, it's about community, smaller class, more sunshine, student support, cost-effective living, and also work experience. Now we move on to the program now. So if anybody have a question, just feel to ask, okay? Okay, I will talk about the fee structure and apply without eyes. Yeah, I will talk about that. So first we talk about undergraduate and then we talk about postgraduate. I know most students. Yes, sure.
There is a question from one Mr. Vikas Sharma. He's asking, can student work part-time during study?
Yes, you can work part-time, 20 hours. 20 hours during the study time and full-time during the holiday, summer holiday and winter holiday. Okay, yeah, that is very important. And also, when you study working part-time or full-time, you guarantee the minimum wage. The minimum wage at the moment, I think, is €12.75. And that is actually the second highest minimum age in the world. And I remember some students mentioned they searched, they Googled to find a minimum wage comparing, and they found Ireland is second. And they are curious. I said, who is the number one? They said actually it's Norway. And then when you look at Norway, wow, they pay more than 18.20 euro, right? No, not euro, their currency equivalent to 18 euro. But think about Norway, the cost of a living is so huge. For Irish people go to Norway, feel we are so poor because everything's so expensive. We can't spend it, we can't spend that. So what's the point to have high wages? But in Ireland, 12.75 € is very, very good wage. It actually is a low, is a minimum guaranteed. Okay. Now when we talk,
Regards to the requirements, IELTS is a must, isn't it? For Ireland.
Yes, it's not have to do IELTS. You can do TOEFL, you can do TOEIC, you can do Duolingo. We have a list of international English tests where we recognize, but IELTS is just one of them. And we don't do, for the visa reason, we not really, the visa office don't accept any university's internal English test. Okay, so very good question. And so here is about undergrad. I know all the students, most from India, I want to do master degree, which is only 1 year. It's an advantage to come to Ireland. A lot of countries have to do 2 to 3 years. So students already advantage their home classmates in the home country. But however, undergraduate is still starting to growing. Some Indian students start to aware of that. Also family are preparing that, especially they have a strong financial background. So as an agent, you need to know this rather than just say, I skip that. I just want to know master. So here is a very easy to understand. Only 2 points you need to know: 4 years degree and a 3 years degree. Everything here I mentioned 3 years. They're 3 years. Everything else are 4 years. So that is the main difference. The other difference is 3 years is a 4 years program. They shrink to the 3 years. So there's no work placement. Okay. 4 years, they all have work placement in year 3, not final year. And the last thing I want you to pay attention for the 3 years program, particular accounting. We all know to be a professional accountant working in any company, besides you have a degree, master degree, that's only your qualification, but you also need to be a qualified professional, pass exams for professional accountancy. For example, ACC, ACIMA, also every country, their own accountancy body. And so accounting, so for students that graduate with WIT accounting degree 3 years, automatically they will get 9 ACCA exam exception from ACCA. That is so unique because ACCA only can give 9 exam exception maximum to very good university, highly regarded, have very high reputation. They did all the assessment and they gave you 9 exam exception. A lot of students from India, from other countries, they said their home university only can get 3 maximum. So 9 means after graduate from WIT, you only need to do 5 exams from ACC, and most companies will pay you to do that. So that is why accounting is so popular for our intern students. If they know what do they want to do for the future. Okay. Now, this is the first one. The second one, for our general 4 years course, students have 2 types. One is high school students have no idea what do they want to do. They just say, oh, Helen, I want to do engineering. That's it. But I just don't know which direction. I don't want to waste my time, register myself in construction management or something else, electric, but I just don't know which one is the best for me. So in that case, you recommend common entry, English, engineering common entry, or business common entry if they know they just want to do business, or applied computing common entry, or the science, or the health. Humanity don't have a common entry. So common entry means, for example, business common entry. First 2 years, you learn a little bit everything. By year 3, you start to focus on which stream you want to focus. And then you graduate with this particular stream. Okay, that's business. Engineering, computing are the same. First year, you're learning everything. By year 2, you choose which stream from the computing, 6 of them. So that is why our programs are always advanced and close to the industry. Every year we have something new. For example, Internet of Things is only 2 or 3 years, and we just build on. So next year could be another new computing we build on, add on another stream. So that is very easy for students to relax, and also you can relax. You don't need to worry, oh my God, how do I help this student? He has no idea which computing that person wants to study, but you just say, here, go to the common entry. That's it. You figure it out a year later or 2 years later. However, the other type of student are very clear because of family business, about personal. They just say, oh, hello, I just want to do software system development. That's it. Okay, you just apply this program for him directly rather than have to put in common entry. This only 2 type of students, okay? And this is undergraduate, and you see the science. So most popular program for our students is engineering, computing, and the science here, and also the accounting, finance. That is very easy to get job. But that means student doing something else, like health science, okay, like other program, business, you won't get job. It just means the competition will be stronger, okay? Because Irish people, they're doing business anyway. So what's your unique? But Asian student unique is strong at science, engineering, computing, especially the mathematics, okay? So now for postgraduate, it's only 1 slide. Everything here I put on this slide is open for the international students. However, if you go to our main website, you will see we have so many postgraduate programs. However, they are not suitable for international students, or they're not opening for international students. Something to say, we have a nursing program. Yeah, we do have nursing, but it's not opening for international market, okay? So for business here, just one is that we have a double degree. What does that mean? That means student graduate with WIT, not just WIT master degree, also have French business school, their master degree. So you have French and Irish 2 master degree in 1 year. So that is called double degree. And they all the program are September. Only this program is general intake. And this is very new, 18 months. So that's why this tuition fees is the most expensive, is 13,000. And the rest of them is only 10,500. Business is a little bit expensive, is around 11,500. That's all, they all the same. So that is the only program, okay? I see the question here.
Yeah, there are a lot of questions here. I think we could clear a few.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. Okay.
The question is, what is the study gap acceptable?
What is what?
Study gap, as in, between the past education and if they want to continue their education, the gap in between their studies.
The gap between undergrad and postgraduate. Okay, and for undergraduate students, have to have a high school degree. That means have to graduate from high school, which means are quite young, maybe 18 around. And for master degree, you have to have a bachelor degree. Normally is 4 years. So all the students will ask, how about I have bachelor degree is 3 years? Can I apply for your master? we will say yes or no. Yes is we have to evaluate your 3 years degree. Most Indian students 3 years only equivalent to our level 7. Okay, level 7 is not eligible to study our level 9 master degree. Master degree is level 9, and the bachelor degree, honor bachelor degree is level 8. So you can't jump from level 7 to level 9. So 4 years degree is you have to have.
So if there is any gap, that is, if they are not doing their education for at least 2 years or so, in between their undergraduate degree and their postgraduate degree, and if they don't have any work experience also, would that be accepted as well?
We will do individual case by case. Okay, some students want to do our master degree, and maybe they have only diploma, or maybe only have 3 years degree. They don't have 4 years, but however, they have very good work experience related to the master degree program. So that could happen, could consider that. But however, again, case by case. What I'm talking here is just general information. Of course, if you find your student so unique, so different, is not covered here, just ask us, email us, and we will come back to you. Okay. So here is engineering and computing. I want you to pay attention about engineering program and computing, but then the main business is not good. Actually, business is so good. We even like my husband's sister's a son, 18 years old, and I asked him, why you choose WIT? Because he's a very bright boy. And he said, WIT actually has the best business programs in Ireland. I said, oh, wow, that's nice to hear from an Irish 18 years old boy, because this generation, they're not stupid. They're very, very smart. And they don't want to waste the time to hang around, just wait to get a degree. They want to get something out of it. So that is why they did this research and study this set. So the reason I want to focus engineering, because business is all traditional. We all know this program, every university have, but just WIT is more practical. That's it. But engineering, this one, innovative technology engineering, is cross-discipline. We take application from cross-discipline. That means we take students from engineering, from computing, from science, okay? But the rest, the other program, like a business student, you have to have a business degree. You can't say, I have a science degree, I want to do marketing. You have no idea what the lecturer talk about, right? So that is why, what I mean, I just skip business part, because you have to have a business degree. Engineering, innovative technology engineering, you can have a cross-discipline. Okay, same as this one, MSc in computing, information system process, we accept cross-discipline. That means computing degree, engineering degree student, and science degree student, and business degree student. Some students will say, oh wow, why business student can study computing in master? Don't forget, this computing is more kind of a softer-ish kind of a computing. It's more information. Don't forget information. Some program could be information is a part of a business program. Some information could be in the science, okay? So this program is suitable for students love computing, want to work in the computing industry, but don't want to be too much technique programmer or to be a software coding engineer. So this program is for students who want to change their career, engineering or business or science, into a computing, because computing 50,000 position is waiting for internet students to fill in. Ireland
basically for students who are looking for a change in career from any background.
Yes, yeah. Because we all know students are doing computer. Everybody know how to type, how to use computer very well in now stage. And so whatever your background degrees, engineering, business, science, and computing, you can all study this information system process. However, as I mentioned, every class is only around small. So competition quite very high. And also we try to make a balance between Irish students and internet student. And also even internet student, we have to make sure it's a little bit diversity, not just the whole class suddenly change Indian student or whole class turn into a Chinese student. So that's why we have to be careful. And then the other program, Enterprise Software System, is purely for students want to be a software engineer, okay? Means coding, programming, everything. So you only meet these two type of computing students, that's all. Most of them will be the first category. They love computing, but they don't want to bury themselves in front of computer, try to figure out how to do coding or programming. So the other programs are all very good as well. Of course, health humanity is not as popular for the internet students. Research, I don't want to talk too much. Now tuition fees. Before I move on, we will ask question first or we will finish and then ask?
We have quite a few questions already lined up. Let me just finish with that and then we'll carry on with the...
Okay.
Yeah. So what are the criteria for post-study work permit?
Okay, what criteria? Okay, so I just jump to the next slide and then we go to criteria for postgraduate. Okay, postgraduate, as I mentioned, you have to have a degree. Most is a 4 years degree, and also you have to have.
Excuse me, Helen.
Yeah?
The question is post-study work permit. That is after the study. What is a opportunity for them to stay back? That is the question about.
Stay back. Okay, that means if they failed the exam, what do they do? Okay, I know some students will ask, they are afraid they failed. Don't worry, I never see any Indian student and miserable failed. They may be failed in India university. I don't know. Somehow our students from Asia country, they are so good for the study. I actually worry more about Irish students because they party so much. And Asian students are so good, behavior so good. I never heard any lecture complaining this student are India, Chinese, they failed and then they couldn't move on to the next program. Okay, just to give a...
This is actually with regards to the visa after the completion of their course. For example, if a student completes his bachelor's degree, a master's degree from Waterford Institute of Technology, would he be able to stay back and work?
Of course. Of course. So when they graduate, automatically, they of course, they have to apply by just a piece of paper. And then they will get a stamp on the passport, which means they're allowed to stay at Ireland for 1 year, and 1 year later they have apply another year. So in total is 2 years when you have a level 9 master degree in Ireland. You have to have a level 9 master degree in Ireland. You can get a maximum 2 years and a graduation visa. But if you only have a bachelor degree, which is a level 8, you're allowed to stay in Ireland for 1 year. Okay,
so if it is an undergraduate degree, it is for 1 year. And if it is for postgraduate degree, it is for 2 years of stay back. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. So and the next question is, do you have any sports club in the institution?
Of course, we have so many sports clubs, and it's really the art of it's just beautiful, and it's a brand new. And because don't forget, Waterford is the only institute of knowledge and the only university for the whole Southeast region. So we have so many students from Dublin, from other cities coming to study in WIT, and we have so many county club, regional club. They all using our facility. So you guarantee. We also have a cricket clubs established by the India student Pakistans, because this is a very strong national sport, right? And like Chinese, Malaysia, they love badminton. So they set a badminton club, a table tennis, ping pong and club. So you, as a student, you can set up your own club if you wish. And all clubs are nearly free. It's only €2. And for the whole year, it's nearly free and a great opportunity to build a network. However, postgraduate program is very intensive. I would suggest students and of course, you need to build your body, healthy, fitness is strong, keep you study, but don't spend too much time and think about part-time job and then join the sport club. And then where's your time to study? Okay, so that is very important. Focus on what you have to do.
The common question we get from the students is, what is the age limit to pursue education? There is someone who has asked the same question, but still, I'm personally asking, like, what would be the age criteria? I mean, age limit to pursue?
Okay, for undergraduate, you have to at least 17 years in January of, for example, this year, I know this is a part, but just for example, this year you want to come in to do your undergraduate, you have to be 17 in January 2021, but not 17
limit
October.
to continue their studies. I mean, if somebody wants to get into their postgraduate, is there age limit?
There's no age limit. Even you are 50, 60, you can come to study. And recently we have WIT have a nationwide news hit every whole country. We have an 85 years old gentleman graduated from WIT with a social study degree. And even though the president, the prime minister visit and give the degree, because this person just want to graduate from the university.
Was he an international student or?
Oh no, he's an Irish student. So for international student, you don't have from university point of view, you don't have any age limit. But from the visa office, they have a little bit concern. They will say, hey, you're 50 years old. Are you serious? Leave your family, leave your wife, husband, young children, whatever children, go to Ireland for degree, for master degree. Is any question? Right? So we don't have problem, but you have to have strong evidence to convince.
Yes. Talking about the family now, I mean, like, is there any facility that they could travel with their family as a student? I mean, the student could travel with the family, the wife or husband joining the student.
Yeah, it's a good question. And generally, students come to WIT to study is on the study visa. Okay, study visa only for study purpose. Your family member want to come to Ireland, they have to apply for different visa. Okay, either tourist visa or maybe some spouse visa. And so normally the visa office will look at that, depends on your program. Most students doing the master program, they don't really, spouse visa not strong enough. But if you come to WIT to do the PhD, we know PhD is very long, it's around 3 to 5 years, and also most of them are funded. The master program is only 1 year. So the visa office will say, hey, you just go there as a tourist visa will be enough. Why you spend all year with your family, you know? And so that is why students have to apply separate visa to come to Ireland. Okay.
Okay. So we are getting a lot of interesting questions. Should we finish that and go on to the next segment, or do we have to wait till the end?
I think a lot of questions maybe is I will go through that. So maybe we keep going, and then at the end they got answer automatically. Okay. Right. So we just mentioned about the cost. So very important, undergrad program is 10,250. This cost, what I mentioned, the price here is very important. Why? Because WIT is changed the name. We go to a university. So WIT is not Waterford Institute of Technology anymore. We'll change the name to Technological University for Southeast Ireland. We know university and Institute of Technology, the tuition fees are different. So general Institute of Technology tuition fee is lower than university. So next January 1st, once we change the university, our tuition fees will still remain the same. So that's good news. Okay, for next September, the tuition fees are still the same. But however, in 2023, more likely, because we're university, the tuition fees will increase. So don't forget that one. So at the moment, our tuition fees are really at a low level because don't forget we are public university. It's not a profit driven, and postgraduate is only extra 250 euro for the master program, most master program. Besides that, we also have a scholarship, and accommodation is the biggest expenses for our internet students. And how expensive comparing Waterford to Dublin. And so that is on campus, okay? And we also have off campus, is only 20 minutes walking distance. And that's inside, that's ensuite. All student accommodation is ensuite, either one single bed or two single bed. They are all ensuite and sharing a kitchen and student. But here's a very, very important. The renting between Dublin to Waterford, and the renting price in Waterford are 53.23% lower than in Dublin. So you can see apartment in city center in Dublin and apartment in city center in Waterford. Waterford is half price in Dublin. So that price you pay for single room whole academic year, in Dublin you pay 6,000 to 7,000 euro per year, and even not as nice, or even far, far away. So there is an accommodation crisis at the moment. So I highly think you need to mention that and share this in website. You can type different city and compare the cost of living, and also the purchasing power, and the grocery price in Waterford is 10% lower than in Dublin. You'll save another 10% of the expenses. So that's why Waterford is so popular for our intern students. A lot of Indian students, they go to Dublin and then they start transfer to Waterford. Now, undergrad, as I mentioned already, you have to graduate from high school. You have English and different type of English language requirement. We accept Duolingo is the easy way. And then master program, you have to have a degree and a related, except it's a cross-discipline program. Again, English requirement a little bit different between whether you want to study business, humanity, or you want to study science and engineering. How to apply this is our website, and Postgrad Application Center is a third party. So generally, if you are just an agent, you have to pay, not you probably will say, hey, your student to pay 50 euro application fees to the PAC, because we're the partner of the Abcodo, and we actually pay that fees for you. Okay, so we pay 50 euro per student to the PAC, this company. So that is advantage, which means save your student money. And this is just summary about all this, what I mentioned, 2022, we're the technological university. And that just the last piece about what is beside university, what's special about Waterford, what's famous about Waterford, beside the beach, beside the city, and the Waterford crystal is the most famous products. It's especially in Western country using the glass a lot. Asian, they don't use that type of the glass. And that is why Hollywood star or celebrity and Irish family, when you get married, traditionally, they don't give you money, they give you a physical present, and more likely is Waterford crystal. And that is a Waterford typical bread. You won't get this in Dublin, in other city, only Waterford. And when you buy, especially for girls, when you have a lipsticks, when you buy it, the whole lips are covered by the white flower. So your whole expensive lipstick, the gown disappeared. So it's funny to look at that. It's just for fun. And the last part, I just want to mention, everybody here have their own business, all right? So when you look at a business, want to be successful, if you focus on the money, it's not a good strategy. You're always creating expansion for others, your student, the parents, and do what you love. I presume everybody here are passionate about what you love to do. Otherwise, you won't be here. And the value, you have to value it. Don't think, oh, I'm not sure, I'm afraid to do. Value yourself, the child accordingly, different type extra value. the secret to be a successful consultant or successful business owner, how do you attract your clients? They just go to you. They will say, I don't want to go to other agent. So go back 20 years ago, my last job as an agent, it's only my boss, the owner, and myself, only two of us, and then two other administration. The main reason is we give so much value to the clients. So the minute they come to us, they won't think about America, they won't think about Australia, any other country anymore. They just say, tell me which university you want me to go. I just go because I trust and believe. So the secret is just you love and you care about them and you're really concerned about that, and you always keep giving something out of the expectation even better. So that is my presentation, and now we go back. I stopped sharing so I can look at probably about questions.
Yes, we've got a lot of questions piled up. So I'll just give you one more question here. Can a student take spouse? Yes, they can. And are they allowed to work?
I don't know. The spouse not allowed to work. Okay. But the student visa, you're allowed to work part-time or full-time during the summer.
Okay. So do you have any on-campus job assistance? Is there any program with guaranteed job placements?
Okay, so when we talk about, there's two things. Work placement is a part of the program, 4 years program is a credit. And so you have to have work placement. But however, there's no guarantee about work placement, because company A will come to our course leader, will say, hey, I want 5 to work for 1 semester. Another company B say, I only need 2. So at the end, always some student left, because the company come over is not the pick. You have to apply and then you have to go to the interview. Some students are very good presenter, to the end, full of the life, smiling and confident, and they can give a very smart answer. But some students are very shy. I couldn't look up and couldn't performing well. They actually doesn't mean they're not doing well. They just a personality, a loud reason. So we even have Irish student couldn't get work placement, but our international student actually get very good company to work. It doesn't matter your background. It's about the person who you are. And so the plan B for this type of student couldn't get work placement is our lecture. We give the student a project. Design a project and give the student a case study, if a business case study to work along this company. So you always have plan B. You have to have a credit from this semester. Okay, so that's question. Question B, the other question about work placement, is that paid or not paid? So in general, is a paid work placement. Most companies they don't want to take advantage of, because you're a student, we don't pay you, we want to take advantage, cheap labor. No, they don't do that. Most company will pay you by hours, minimum wages, but some company just pay you by monthly salary. Okay, so they put you into their staff like HR, so you pay monthly. Okay. So, and however, some students are doing so well during the interview. They're telling the company, and I want to work with your company. You're my dream company. And you don't even to pay me, right? So the company was thinking, wow, this student have a much better attitude than anybody else. Straight away, hey, how much do you pay me? So of course, that student will likely get a very good impression and get the work placement. So very important to tell your student, don't ever calculate your money from work placement to cover your cost of living, because that is not right mindset. That's just make you to focus on small things and lost track on the big thing, because the company is so, especially some multinational company like Facebook, IBM, they have fantastic training program. And once you get into their training program nearly worth couple thousands euro. So that's why even students say, I even don't want you to pay me. I just want to do because it's free, right? So That is about work placement. The other thing is about job opportunity. Is a part-time job. It's not your part of work placement. It's outside your academic study. It's a personal choice. Okay, so Ireland is not same as American. American university, they all have on-campus job, but Irish and Western European, they don't have this kind of culture. They don't have a job on campus. They all outsourcing a third-party company to come in to provide all this service. So they are using their own staff. Okay, so the student job opportunity is outside of campus. It's a supermarket, a petrol station, a furniture shop, or receptionist, or storage man, or whatever, deliver, or anything, or even phone call center, or maybe some people get better, maybe work in the company as a receptionist and anything. So you make sure this is your personal choice. However, class is so tiny. Always ask lecturer, ask students, ask other people. I'm looking for a job. Do you know? Can you pass on my CV? So always ask.
So is there any chance for permanent residency?
Yes, I'm the perfect example. And so once you graduate from WIT, right, you get a job opportunity. WIT signed the contract with me, 2 years contract, because all the contract is 2 years, January. And then once you have a contract, your company, which is WIT HR, will apply for the work permit for me. So work permit is not me to apply, it's HR to apply for you. When you got work permit, it's a piece of paper, and then you go to visa officer, local in Waterford city, they give you stamp. So that means you're on the work permit visa. And then after 2 years, company normally always renew your contract for 2 years, and no particular reason they will sack you. You got fired, except you're doing something very bad or stupid things, right? More likely they like, because the minutes they hire you, why they hire you rather than an international, rather than an Irish student or a Spanish, because EU country they don't need a visa, is because you are different, you are special, you are more hard worker, you are more stay in. Not every student, hey, bye-bye, I do another job because they pay me better, they give me more holiday. But our international student more likely will stay in the job. So that is why company more likely to hire an Asian international student. So after that,
are they supposed to apply for their permanent residency? I mean, like staying back?
After, yes.
Okay.
They apply for that by themselves. Okay, company nothing to do with that. Company only apply for the work permit for you. And after 5 years, and you can apply for the resident permanent. We call green card, whatever you call permanent. And then you can apply for you also qualify to apply for the citizenship. So it's up to you whether you want Irish passport or you don't want. There's no much difference. Okay.
So there is another question. I think we have not covered that during your presentation. What was the minimum backlog for getting admission either into the undergraduation or post-graduation? What is the backlog?
And so generally for every year we have 2 semesters. Semester 1 is 6 modules. Semester 2 is 6 modules. So once 6 module finished, you're doing exams. Before Christmas time, you finished. So you don't touch the 6 module anymore. And then January you come back, you're doing the other new 6 modules. However, some students failed the first semester, for example, first semester 1 or 2 modules. And then they don't need to worry too much because you failed, okay, you have to doing repeat exam. Repeat exam is always in August. So August is a repeat exam.
What the question is about getting admission into WIT.
Get admission.
Yeah, so how many backlogs does WIT accept from a student?
generally you have to have average score of around 70%. Okay, so whether you failed or not, but when you got average score 70%, not just you pass minimum. For example, 60 is a pass. So your maths, everything, English, everything, history, everything is a pass. Of course, we will say that student is a little bit maybe have a little bit concern, right? But if everything is good, only one particular, for example, history failed. We know some students are very good language, but could be very bad for the mathematics or different opposite. But then we look at average. Okay.
So what do you expect out of a student who's applying for a postgraduate course from his bachelor's degree? How many backlogs do you accept?
We generally just say you have to pass. You have to pass, right? I know all the university, when you failed, they always give you a second chance to have a repeat exams. So you have to pass, that's a minimum. And the other thing, you have to above a little bit average. If a 60 is a pass, you can't say average score is 60. You at least you show it's 70. Because don't forget, I know India is where English speaking very popular, but again, you come to Ireland, a different culture, so it's still using English for your study. It's still a little bit challenged. So that's why we look at your score a little bit higher than average.
Oh. So is there any scholarship offered to the students?
Yeah, as I mentioned in my slide, so 20% for the tuition fees off for your undergrad program is every single year. The minimum to get every single year, 20%, you have to pass average. So for example, you're in the class of all the 20 students and everybody only have 60, but you have a 65. So that means you can continue have 20%. For master's degree student, you can get 2,000 euro off of your tuition fee. And of course, master is only 1 year. How to apply? Once you get conditional offer, you can apply for our master degree program. And the criteria for the scholarship is number one is you have to have a special thing about the student. So for example, we don't set our criteria very high. So obviously, we're doing internal assessment. So for example, and Lavaya, you're from this agent, right? And you know the student and the family inside out. And we don't know the student. We only see the student by a piece of paper, right? But you say, oh, Helen, that student, I would apply for the scholarship for this student. I'm looking for your support. I will say, why? You have to prove. And you will say, this student have meet this criteria, have this criteria. Okay, the minimum criteria all meet. Okay, that's good. What's extra you can convince me to give scholarship for your student? You will say that student have personal father or mother, or cousin, have personal connection with the high school, and straight away I can get 5 students from this high school. Okay, now we talk about business. I keep this scholarship for you, for this student. Okay, so that is what even everybody are all same, but because you know this connection or you know that connection, you can let me know. Besides, not everybody have the connection. Just purely this student have a championship, the champion of the running and cricket. Superstar of cricket, or the music, genius of music, can play piano, singing, make sounds for the
So in a nutshell, you want something special out of the student beyond his education to apply for a scholarship. That's what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Something extra you can add the value.
So ordinary.
Yeah. And the other thing is we look at scholarship as ambassador. We look at this student, they got scholarship as ambassador. We will invite them come to the office, give a little bit of reception. we take a photo, and we interview them. We will make the best social media for them. And then as an agent, you can use them to promote and attract more students coming to you. That is for marketing purpose.
Okay.
It's
I
not
think
just
a lot of other questions here. Let me just clear it off. Most of the Indian students have 4 academic or 5 academic subjects in class 12. Will they be eligible to apply for bachelor's at WIT?
Okay, I'm not quite sure about that one. But the first one is, number one, they have to have age, right? Number two, they have to pass all the high school exams.
So
Okay.
is mathematics mandatory to do business degree at your institution? That is a
Generally, mathematics is required for the science, engineering, computing. For business, it's not too bad. If you don't study maths, general business don't really have this. But however, maths is strong for Asian students. Every student, they do kind of struggling. But Asian students, normally the maths are quite strong. Actually, a lot of Asian students say mathematics class is a favorite because they can get 90%, and every student can only get 50 or 60. So every student actually looking for your help for the maths, and you actually can ask them to help you for other projects or other things. Maybe you are a little bit weak. So don't give up. Tell the student, don't give up. Maybe mathematics in India is a very high standard. You're afraid of mathematics, but in Ireland, actually your strength, your advantage. Okay.
Thank you so much, Babette. What is just asking, just for just want to know about that. Like, how many Indian students are there at your campus?
How many Indian students? Oh, that's a good question. We used to have, before COVID, probably have around 40, 50, but now we maybe got 20.
Okay.
But we project next year could be go back again, because we already see a lot of application coming again.
Okay. So what is the international mix, if you may say?
And the Russia is an EU country student and non-EU, right? They all international. So EU country student, and roughly now by this year figure, we have around 140 European students. And non-EU student, including India, China, Malaysia, Vietnam, all these and still Asia students are roughly around 60, 70.
Okay.
So it's a half-half.
Okay. So could you just give us an insight about the visa information a student visa information for Ireland, if you could help us with?
Yeah, the visa, everything is go online. So you just go to the website and they have a very clear the list of a document we require. For general procedure is you apply for WIT to send information or go online, right? Our online application will start opening in November. So just be aware, be patient, not September, not October, it's November. And the reason we are kind of will put a little bit late at the end of this year, it's because we have so much administration, a lot of work to pass to the current students. So that's why we don't have enough staff to push forward for the next year. That's why November is the earliest time. So once it's open, you apply online, and so you apply at WIT, you get conditional offer first, and more likely, and then you get student to prepare, and then until they get full offer. When you get full offer, you can apply for when you get a conditional offer, you can already apply for the scholarship. Okay, you don't have to wait. So when you get a final offer, you start to prepare for your visa, beside financial, all this document. So you go to visa office, apply for it, and visa office will ask you to pay 6,000 euro for part of your tuition fees. Okay, so once you get 6,000 euro paid, automatically you will get a receipt from our online. We have an online payment system. So once you automatically get a receipt, and then you go to embassy, and then they will give you a passport with a visa on it. And then before you come to Ireland, we require you have to pay the full fees. We don't have an installment because it's only 1 year. So once you got a visa, the next step for you is to arrange the balance to pay to WIT. Once we got the balance, and then we will issue the acceptance letter, which is the most important letter for student travel and arrive Dublin airport, because immigration office not just look at your offer letter, not just a receipt, they will look at the final one, which means acceptance letter, because sure, you pay the money in full, you're fully accepted, and that's it. So that is roughly a procedure. For the visa, more visa, how to apply, what kind of document, where everything is on their website. Everything's go online, it's easy. And also we just check with Education Ireland and the visa office, they are going to open very soon.
Okay. So there is one more question here with regards to the part-time work. Minimum wages per hour when we work for 4 hours per day. This is from Stella Boniface.
Yeah, the minimum wage is around €12.75, and so it's for all the students. If your employer didn't pay you, you actually can come and report to us, right? And also, and you can say to you have to pay me that, otherwise the company, the employer will be in the trouble. And sometimes they will pay you cash, sometimes they will pay you through your bank account. Either way, once you pay your minimum wage, you're okay.
So what about the intakes? What are the intakes normal like the UK intakes?
What do you mean that?
January.
Intake.
Yeah, the intakes. When are the intakes?
Intakes roughly is around, for example, Christmas time is always give 2 weeks holiday, right? So for example, look at this Christmas time, you're probably more likely you're off from 6/13 to the end of this year and end, right? And you're back to the college probably the first week in January. So that is roughly, and you're starting in January and then you finish by May, and all the exams finished by May. You have 3 months free, and for dissertation are all during the summertime. So dissertation in the summer is not quite, you're still busy working to finish the last project.
So how many intakes do you have?
We only have September intake, and only one program, mass program, which is a digital marketing practice, is September intake.
Okay.
It's January intake.
I think we've pretty much covered all the questions here. We have done everything. I don't find any pending questions here. So do you have anything more to say, Helen?
And I just say, first thing, want to say thank you everybody to be here. I hope you get something out this 1 hour we're together. And the second thing is, I wish you all doing very well. I wish you to get not just 1 or 2 students for Ireland. I want to get 10, I want to get 50 and 100. But how to do that? There's so many ways to do. One is to find a right platform. Like Abcodo, like the Lavea, the team, they are here to support you to be successful, right? So of course, Ireland just one of the country that promote. They also have other country, but here is a talk about Ireland have so much advantage. So from student benefit, they all want money back. Nobody say I want to go to America. Of course, I have a strong reason because my uncle, my cousin, they guarantee my job. That's a different story. But that generally, they're just looking for the future and career. And you think about Waterford, WIT in Ireland have so much to offer. And so for you, just to have to be passionate about what you're doing and so proud for what you're doing and so excited for what you're doing. So passing your energy to your people. And when students coming to you, they will feel, oh, I talked to Helen and make me feel my dream come true much easier. Rather, I go to next agent, go to another agent. I just feel they just look at me as a number. They try to take money from me, or they, so think about what extra value you can offer rather than just consult and make me something, give a little bit present, give something, or how's the mommy, your mom is sick, oh, this is a little present. It's not expensive, don't have to be money, just people feel, or even text message. Social media are very powerful, very easy to use and free, and make students feel, oh, I think about that, but more likely 1 year later, 2 years later, they still will go back to you because they said 2 years ago, you gave me such good impression. 2 years later, I want to come to you.
Thank you so much for the wonderful presentation, Helen. It was so wonderful to have you here. So let today's learning be a match that inspires your desire to navigate international student recruitment with technology tools and resources. Thank you all for your valuable time in participating in our webinar. I hope this webinar has improved our standard understanding of Waterford Institute of Technology and institutions, choices of courses and the island for its opportunities. We will catch you up with another wonderful session very soon. You will find the session's details in your inbox. Please look into it. Take care.
Thank you. Enjoy. Have a lovely day. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye, everybody. Bye.